Chapter 7. Talon had never been so scared and angry in her entire life. Not only had their plan to capture the dragon failed, but she was now a captive herself. For some reason, though, the dragon seemed to have no interest in killing her. At least not yet. What other plans might it have, though? Talon shuddered and wished she could see a way down off this mountain top. The dragon settled into her spot on the small ledge, suddenly relaxing. "Who are you?" it asked, as though she were a fellow cleric meeting Talon for the first time, though perhaps not so polite. Talon gaped. "I know humans are mean and stupid and cruel. Rudeness should not surprise me," the dragon said when Talon didn't answer. "Who are you?" Talon folded her arms across her chest. "Talon of Forest Edge," she said. "Not that it's any of your business." "I am Samil," the dragon replied, "and who you are most certainly is my business." Samil looked at her claws as though annoyed at how tiny they were. She gestured to Talon's throat. "Where did you get that necklace?" Talon could not have been more surprised. That was a question Rama would ask, not a savage creature. Next, would the dragon ask how she braided her hair? "None of your concern," Talon said, tucking the jewel under her robe. "Unless you're planning on stealing it to add to your treasure hoard." The dragon snorted. "My kind does not care for sparkly gems. Coral and pearls are the only items of real value." The dragon's eyes glittered with what Talon thought for a moment might be tears. But that was absurd. These creatures had no emotions. The dragon was indeed crying, however. In fact, she was hunkering down for what looked like a good cry indeed. Talon scooched far back as she could without falling off the cliff to avoid the dragon's tears sizzling on the stone. They must be acidic, Talon realized. How fitting. Everything about these creatures had the power to harm. Once again Talon glanced over the edge and was instantly dizzy from the steep carpeted green treetops. There was no escaping that way, unless she wanted to fall and roll all the way back to Forest Edge. She couldn't see the town from here, which made her even more nervous. Which direction was it? Far below, hidden by the trees, or on the other side of the mountain? The dragon was still weeping. That made Talon even angrier. "Stop it!" Talon yelled. "How dare you cry? I'm the one who should be crying. My brother was killed by a copper dragon like you." The dragon's tears slowed, and it glared at Talon. "I am not copper. I'm bronze. The very idea. Copper dragons live in the mountains and eat scorpions and "I don't care. You're a dragon." Talon sat down on the rocks. "Oh, why did you have to come here? Why can't you all just go away and leave us alone?" "I would like nothing better," the dragon roared. "I hate it here." Talon blinked, startled. "I want to go back to the Dragon Isles," the dragon continued, sitting up proudly. "I never wanted to come here, but my parents made me." Dragons have parents? The thought had never occurred to Talon, but of course they must have. Where else would little dragons come from? Then another thought crossed her mind, far more chilling. What if the dragon's parents were around here as well? "Where are your parents?" Talon asked, trying to keep the question casual. Tears welled up in the dragon's eyes again. "My mother was wounded in a fight, fighting to protect humans, to protect you." "Don't cry again. You'll eat away the whole ledge," Talon said. She couldn't get any further anyway. So instead she leaped up to rush toward the dragon, but she tripped and avoided falling in a puddle of acidic tears by inches. "A dragon never protected me. Never." "Then where did you get that necklace?" the dragon asked, pointing a finger at Talon's neck. Talon looked down and picked up the medallion Mishkael. "Not that one," the dragon snapped. "The jewel. The one that matches this." Samil flipped her head to one side, and a fine chain slithered around her neck. On the end of the chain, previously tucked behind the dragon's wings, was a pendant that matched the one Ellison had given Talon. "Where did you get that?" Talon rose to her feet and took a step forward, her curiosity outweighing her fear of the dragon for a moment. "My mother brought it home after protecting humans. You must have seen her if you have the other half." The other half? Talon looked closer and realized that, indeed, the pendant would fit together with hers. She shook her head slowly. "You are the first copper dragon I've seen since—" "How many times must I tell you? I am not copper. I'm bronze. With the last word, the dragon flapped her wings. You're going to kill us both, Talon yelled. She edged away until her back was against a steep rock wall and glanced up. Only a gifted climber could scale that. Her rage at being kidnapped, at dragons, at everything that had happened in the last few days bubbled up again. I don't care what metal you are, she shouted. I didn't get this from a dragon. I haven't seen a dragon other than you for a year. And may I say it wasn't a good encounter then either. The dragon's raised wings drooped like a yellow flower wilting in the sun. You didn't see my mother? It whispered. No, Talon said, feeling slightly sorry for the dragon. She beat the feeling down, but curiosity about the similar jewel won out over her anger for a moment. May I look closer at the necklace? The dragon said nothing, but merely nodded. Talon came closer. Closer. What if it was a trap? But the dragon could have killed her by now, she realized, if that was its purpose. It must have been genuinely curious about her necklace. Talon took the dragon's pendant in one hand. Like hers, it was jagged along one edge. She took her pendant in the other hand and fitted them together like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. For a moment she saw the completed star that the two pieces made. Then there was a brilliant flash of multicolored light and a roaring boom that shook rocks loose from the cliff. Talon let go of the dragon's necklace as the force from the flash knocked back into the scraggly tree, where she ducked for cover. Samil tucked her head and wings in until she resembled a ball. The two waited for the rain of rocks to cease. Then they peered at each other. That crafty dragon had done something, using the matching jewel as bait. What did you do? Talon shouted. A stray rock bounced down from the cliff. Talon ducked aside, and it continued its fall down the mountain. What did you do? What did I do? The dragon stood, craning her long neck to look at the new formations in the rock above them. What did you do? It was you. It had to be. You attacked my friends yesterday, and now they attacked me. Samil stiffened. I was just flying over, and then they attacked me. I defended myself. You can't blame them, Talon said, although now that Samil mentioned it, her friends never said that the dragon threatened them first. A copper dragon attacked this village not long ago. I am not a copper dragon. This time the dragon roared so loudly that Talon's ears rang with the sound. Your village must have done something to the copper dragon first. We never did anything to that dragon, Talon yelled. This dragon was really infuriating. How dare it suggest that Forest Edge had done a single thing to bring on such an attack?